should I start off this personal narrative story? How can I start off this personal narrative story? Jeremiah? Jeremiah, wait till everyone's tracking you. Thanks, Paulina. Take a turn. Thanks, Marisol.
Eduardo? We should start it by adding.
What'd you do over the weekend?
Over the weekend, I went to see my grandpa with my new car.
Over the weekend, I went to see my grandpa in my new car. Let's start off our story like that. Jeremiah, we're going to take your weekend story and we're going to stretch it out to make a strong personal narrative. Is that okay? All right, everyone's writing along with me. Over my weekend, I went to visit my grandfather in my There's something wrong with this sentence. What are some things that are wrong with this sentence? See, Juan sees it. Natalie sees it. Alex sees it. Alex, what's wrong with this sentence?
I think you spelled over my.
Over my? How should I spell it?
In the first sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's really with the I, with the my, not because that makes sense.
Yeah, I want to make sure it makes sense. And scholars, is this a word that I should already know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should already know how to spell my. Paulina, what's another mistake that you caught?
You spelled car as K-A-R. What?
Mm-hmm. I spelled car as?
As K-A-R instead of supposed to be C-A-R.
Great job. Yeah, these are words that I should already know how to spell. So should I be making mistakes with them? No. What's next? What should happen next? Over my weekend, I went to visit my grandfather in my new car. I heard a scholar say over here that it's not juicy enough. What can I do to make it juicy? What can I do to make this a juicy sentence? What are some things that I can add? Whisper to your side-to-side buddy what I can do to make this sentence juicy. Go.
Details.
Whisper, scholars. Scholars, freeze. Scholars, freeze. Scholars. We need to practice whisper and normal voice volume. Whisper, we need to be out of one. So let's try it again. Whisper to your buddy what you can add. Great fixed noise. I know, but where? All right, scholars, come back together in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So how can I make this first sentence juicy? What can I do? Eduardo? I can add details. Where can I add details to? Thanks, Sean, for your eyes. At the end of the sentence? Well, what would it sound like if you added details at the end of the sentence? Well, tell me how you would rewrite the sentence. What would you put instead of the one I have now? Call in a friend. We'll come back to you. So he said add details.
You could put what type of car it was.
Eduardo, back to you. How can I add details to make this juicy? Yeah, I can tell what kind of car it is. So, scholars, what's one describing word I can put to describe my car? No way? No way? It's a new car.
There was a bride.
In my new
A bride and
bright.
that car.
Oh, so let me do this. I'm going to cross this out. In my new bright black. Ooh, and I know what type of car it is. Nissan. Ooh. So now I have a picture in my mind of what this car looks like. It's a bright black new Nissan. I can see it glinting in the sun. What's a spelling word I can put in my next sentence? Over my weekend, I went to visit my grandfather in my new bright black Nissan. Eduardo, I love your hand today. What's my next thing that I can write?
You can put what you were doing.
What I was doing.
The sentence I was going to put is that when I was reading in the car, I splattered food all over the car.
Oh my God. When I was eating in the car, I splattered food all over the car. Wait. How did you splatter food all over your car? To the store? You were going to the store? So I like how you're slowing your moment down and making sure to add more details. So he said, when I was going to the store, I was eating food and I splattered my food all over the car. But what happened to make you splatter the food? Ashley? When I was going to the store, I was eating and I tripped and splattered food all over the car. Ooh. Jeffrey, did you want to add more?
Instead of trip, it could be he hit a big bump.
Ooh, okay, so they were driving and the driver hit a big bump and that made him splatter his food all over the car? Okay. When I was going to the store in my shiny new car. And Jeremiah, who was driving the car? Jeremiah, who was driving the car? Is it your dad? Your dad, okay. My dad drove over a bump all over the car. was going to the store in my shiny new car, my dad drove over a bump. Let me put here. It's a comma, sorry, but there is something missing. What do you yell?
I'm missing the period after book.
I'm missing the period after bump. Great catch. Yeah, it's a run-on sentence. My food splattered all over the car. What kind of punctuation can I add for that? Evan?
You could put quotation marks.
Not quotation marks. Quotation marks are for dialogue. So I want to put an N mark. What's an N mark that I can put at this sentence?
Yeah, can I call it?
Call my friend. Someone will have it. Easy? I can put an exclamation mark. What kind of N mark can I put?
Exclamation mark.
Yeah, I can put an exclamation mark. Why an exclamation mark, Daisy? Yeah, it's sort of like I'm screaming. My food splattered all over the car. It's an exciting moment. What would Jeremiah's dad say if his food splattered all over the car? It's a brand new car, and Jeremiah splattered food all over it. What would his dad say? Jeffrey, thanks for your hand every time I have a question. Haley?
He'd say, what were you thinking?
What were you thinking? Who can remind me what happens when I have dialogue? Paulina? I have to put quotation marks, but what else do I have to do? I can put an exclamation mark. But there's a rule that I have when I'm starting dialogue. Marisol?
You have to start a new paragraph.
What do I have to do, Paulina?
You have to start a new paragraph.
Yeah. What were you thinking? Should Jeremiah's dad be shouting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. No. Yeah. What?
All right, scholars. Now I leave it to you. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Go ahead and keep stretching out this story using our spelling words. Remember to add punctuation marks as you go. Write them on your own. Here Jeffrey's looking at our spelling words to add to our word. Ooh. Alex went back and capitalized what Jeremiah's dad was saying to show he's shouting. So remembering to start a new paragraph each time she has dialogue. So I'm adding a new character into this narrative.